part of Summer Leadership Workshop, we want to reflect on what we learned from others today. Hopefully you were able to get into your small groups and really start working toward that final project vision, and I'm sure those are coming along nicely. You were able to capitalize on the strengths of your fellow group members, your small group facilitators, and your JCs. Hi, I'm Laurie Zulke from Montgomery High School in Montgomery, Texas. At the Vision Conference earlier this summer, we heard a speaker named Phil Boyd. What he said rang true to me in a lot of senses for the environments and the high school interactions that we have every day on a normal basis when we're in school. He reiterated that your experiences and your opinions are formed by a circle of influence, which are the people you have in your life every day. Your parents, your friends, your teachers, your mentors. He also said, what if we approach people that we are different than with the attitude of what can we learn from those people? So when you see someone in the hallway and they're different than you program your brain to say, what can I learn from that person? If we all thought like that, just think of the amount of learning we would do from each other every day in our interactions in a high school. So here at Summer Leadership Workshop, we really want you to learn from one another. That's what you're here to do, is to expand your circle of influence. Our nation as a whole is going through a tough time. We have an upcoming election. We're going through a pandemic. We're disconnected from our school, our friends, sometimes our relatives, and we have a lot of civil unrest in our society. So right now, let's learn from one another while we have that opportunity. Learning from others often takes time and skills, but here are a few tips on how to do that effectively. Number one, have a genuine interest in others' point of view. In his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie writes, "You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can make in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you." Curiosity drives learning, so give others your full attention and actively listen to them. Number two, conversations are better than interrogations. Be prepared for the conversation. Do some research on the person that you're talking with or the subject you're talking about. I'm not sure if you guys watch late night talk shows, but Ellen DeGeneres is always very prepared for her guests. She often has surprising questions for them because she reads a lot about the person that she's interviewing prior to having that conversation. And if you listen to podcasts, one of my favorites is the Jordan Harbinger Show. He is an amazing listener, and he gets so much out of his guests, like Bill Nye and Tony Hawk, just because of his active listening skills. You can learn a lot from others by reading and listening to podcasts. Number three, when you're listening to someone, ask them to back it up. Asking questions like why and what was your experience with that really gets to the meat of the story. And when we hear stories, our brain releases oxytocin, which is a chemical that allows us to trust that person and makes them more approachable. That's why we build trust quickly with people that we exchange personal stories with. So tell a story next time you're talking to someone. To close, I would like to leave you with a cute reminder about sharing, listening, and conversing provided by Mr. Shel Silverstein. Asians by Shel Silverstein. If we meet and I say, "Hi," that's a salutation. If you ask me how I feel, that's consideration. If we stop and talk a while, that's a conversation. If we understand each other, that's communication. If we argue, scream, and fight, that's an altercation. If we later apologize, that's reconciliation. If we help each other home, that's cooperation. And all these Asians added up make civilization. And if I say this is a wonderful poem, is that an exaggeration? Some things to consider as we leave this session. Your small group facilitators and JCs have lined out exactly what you should be working on and when things are due. You should find instructions on how to turn everything in, along with the links for turning things in, on the Summer Leadership Workshop website. Your video speeches are due after this closing session. You should be working towards the final product, which is a digital representation of the project that you'll want to implement in two ways: virtually, or if we're together in a normal school environment. These can be represented in an infographic, a video, a website, and there are resources on the resources page at the Summer Leadership Workshop website for you to use if you haven't found what you're going to use for that yet. The small group facilitators should provide you the exact criteria that you need for your project, and whatever you create just needs to be able to be sent in via a URL or an internet link so that we can share with everyone at the workshop. So just a reminder about final project due dates and times. Your final project, if you're in the one-day workshop, is Wednesday, today at 1:45 p.m. If you're in the 3-day workshop, your due date is also Wednesday, but it's not until 6 p.m. We can't wait to see what you come up with.